Blessed be the reading of your word, Heavenly Father. We at Genesis chapter 31. Let's eat. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before, because he then basically took all the cattle. The Most High then transferred Laban's wealth to Jacob. Verse 3. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of your fathers, and to your kindred, and I will be with you, Emmanuel. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me, Emmanuel. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father. Your father hath deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckled shall be your wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, the range-straked shall be your hire, then bear all the cattle range-straked. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father, and given them to me. Wealth transfer. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes, and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were range-straked, speckled, and grizzled. And the angel of God spake unto me in the dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here am I. And he said, Lift up now your eyes, and see all the rams which leap upon the cattle are range-straked, speckled, and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban does unto you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar, and where you vows a vow unto me. Now arise, get you out from this land, and return unto the land of your kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him strangers? For he hath sold us. See, there was property. He hath sold us. He sold them for Jacob. So Jacob owned. They were Jacob's. I mean, I hate to say it, but the truth is, they were his. He owned them. But we don't have to look at it like people look at it today. I mean, and when we get to the 10 Commandments, you're gonna see too that the woman belongs to the man. So we'll get to that and check that out. That's why, I won't go too far with that one, but that's what it is. For he says, For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto you, do. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Padanaram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. So he's going back to the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. So Rachel stole the false gods that Laban had. Now, in the other books, it tells you about these false gods and what it was. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Laban had one. It was like I want to say it was like a head, somebody's head, and he put like a gold plate under the tongue with this like this certain type of writing on it. And when he would go talk to this idol, it would talk to him back. It would tell him stuff. It's some witchcraft stuff, man. Yeah, it's in one of those other books. I can find that for you later. Verse 20. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river. And this river here, thinking this river is the Euphrates that they're talking about. He passed over the river and set his face toward Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the 3rd day that Jacob was fled. And he took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that you speak not to Jacob either good or bad. So Laban got a warning in a dream. Now, we done seen that a few times already. The Most High visiting dudes in dreams, warning them, right? So here it is happening to Laban. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the Mount Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, "What hast you done, that you hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives taken with the sword? Wherefore did you flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and did not tell me, that I may have sent you away with mirth, with happiness, and with song, and with tabret, and with harp, and hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters, to kiss his grandsons?" There really ain't a word in the scripture for grandson, but that's what that means in this context. "You hast now done foolishly in doing so." Verse 29. "It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt, but the God of your fathers spake unto me yesterday night, saying, Take heed that you speak not to Jacob either good or bad." Verse 30. "And now, though you wouldest need be gone, because you soar long after your father's house, yet wherefore hast you stolen my gods?" Rachel stole them. "And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure you would take by force your daughters from me." Listen to this part. This is important. Verse 32. "With whomsoever you find your gods, let him not live, before our brethren discern you what is yours with me, and take it to you. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them." So Jacob, now remember when Jacob got the blessing from Isaac, and he had to use some deception to get it, because Esau was trying to get the blessing, but he had already sold the birthright to Jacob, and Jacob was scared to use deception or put on the hairy clothes and stuff, because he was like, what if he curses me instead of blesses me? So in the scripture, you'll see the power of a father's blessing and curses. The Most High would honor a father's blessings, and as well as his cursings. This is the same for a husband as well. So men have to be careful. Husbands and fathers have to be careful what they speak, because the Father, the Most High, will honor those blessings. Likewise, he will honor a cursing on your family, particularly your children and your wife. So you have to be careful what you say as a father and a husband, particularly if you rolling with the Most High, if you're serving him and walking with him. He will honor what comes out of your mouth as a blessing and a cursing. Curses and blessings when they spoke them, right? So when here, at this point now, Jacob is the head of his house, and Rachel's his wife. But what he said here is, "With whomsoever you find your gods, let him not live." So he actually spoke a curse on whoever stole this man's stuff, but he was thinking, none of my people ain't stole nothing. So, but he didn't know, but he spoke this, right? And it said, "For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them." So we're going to see why that's important a little later. Let's continue. Verse 33. "And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tent, but he found them not." Because he wanted them idols who could talk to him because of those spells. Because they would tell him stuff, right? Verse, dealing with spirits and witchcraft. That's what that was. Verse 30. It said, "Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images." She had taken the images, the false god, and put them in the cattle's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said unto her father, "Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before you, for the custom of women is upon me." And he searched, but found not the images. Well, she was saying she couldn't get up off her horse because she was on her cycle. That's what she said, "For the custom of women is upon me." And she lied. So this is the woman that Jacob loved. We'll see how this plays out later. Verse 36. "And Jacob was wroth or angry, and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin that you has so hotly pursued after me? Whereas you has searched all my stuff. What has you found of all your household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and your brethren, that they may judge betwixt us. This 20 years have I been with you. You, your ewes, and your she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of your flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beast I brought not unto you. I bear the loss of it. In my hand did you require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was. In the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your cattle, and you has changed my wages 10 times. So he going in on him. He fed up. He done went through his stuff, like, dude, you chasing after me. You wouldn't let me go. Verse 4, he going in on verse 42. He said, except the God of my fathers, the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely you have sent me away now empty. God has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you yesterday night. You notice he called the Most High the fear of Isaac. Yeah. He said the God of my verse 42, the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac. Verse 43. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle. No, they ain't. You know what I mean? He just like Esau. Remember, him and Esau got cool, and that's in the other books as well. That's in the extra biblical books like the book of Jasher. Laban and Esau got cool. So just like Esau tried to renege and try to, get the blessing of the birthright that he sold. Don't say I stole something that you sold to me. That's a purchase, not stealing. Now you got Laban trying to act like that he didn't sell his daughters to Jacob, and that these children are his children. That, those other books call Laban the Wicked. That's his name in the other books. And Esau was just like him. They was cool. Let's continue. 44. Now therefore come you and let us make a covenant. So here you go again, brothers making covenants, so Laban know the Most High is with him. He know the Most High is with Jacob. So Laban's like, come on, man, let's sit down and eat and make a covenant, make an agreement. So I don't have no problems with the Most High. Just like, remember, Abimelech came to Isaac. Remember they kicked Isaac out. Abimelech had kicked Isaac out because he got too prosperous in his land. And then he went to him and was like, come on, man, let's make a covenant. And Isaac was like, why you come out to see me and y'all kicked me out away from y'all? Abimelech was like, come on, bro, let's make a covenant. So now we see Laban that was doing Jacob wrong, and Laban chased him down. He's like, now, okay, he had that dream. The Most High warned him in the dream. He warned him in the dream, and now Laban's like, okay, let's make a covenant. Let me read it, verse 44. Now, therefore, come you, let us make a covenant, I and you, and let it be for a witness between me and you. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brother, and gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap. And they did eat there upon the stone. So you making a covenant, there's always they eating when they making these deals. And that's why, like I said, people to this day make deals while they breaking bread, while they eating, right? There's an ancient history of that. And we're reading about it here in Genesis, verse 47. And Laban called it Jergar-Sha'ah Dutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and you this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galeed. And Mitzpah, for he said, the Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another. You remember that? That comes from that they say that in the Christian churches today. But this is where they got that from. They never take you to this verse in the Bible and show you where that comes from. And everybody in there be there. May the Lord watch between me and thee, between me when we're at. It come right here. It's right here in Genesis, man. In verse 50. If you shall afflict my daughters, or if you shall take other wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness between me and you. And Laban said unto Jacob, behold, this heap, and behold, this pillar which I have cast between me and you, this heap be a witness. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to you, and that you shall not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. We're not going to pass over to do each other no harm. We can come see each other and visit, but there ain't going to be no trouble, all right? So they making it, like I said, Laban know what the deal is. He done seen the Most High been with him. He seen him prosper. Then he had that dream, so he know what it is. So he want to cut this covenant, so he don't get no more harm coming his way. Verse 53, because the Most High honor that covenant that Jacob makes with him. These people back in the day, man, they knew about these covenants and these contracts, and they knew how the Most High would honor them and stuff. So he knew what he was doing by making this deal. Verse 53. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor and the God of their father judge between us. And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Interesting, he calls him the fear. Verse 54. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread and tarried all night in the mount. He said, see, he offered sacrifice. So in the book, as we continue read, it's going to be a lot of sacrifices offered. But they just ain't killing animals. They would eat. You know what I mean? When you sacrifice these animals to the Most High, they would eat them. That's one reason why he would only accept what he called clean animals, because the clean animals could be eaten. You follow? Okay, so there's other animals that could be offered up, but the Most High only accepted certain animals because in a lot of cases, you would sit down and eat that animal after you offered up the blood and the fat on the altar, and they would cook it. And almost like grilling, right? But anyway, verse 55. And early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned into his place.